And our next question, this is one of those that really gets you guys, all the candidates, you scratching their head. You really have to kind of think about it a little bit. But in your opinion, what are the qualities that an ideal county clerk should possess?
I feel that we all have good qualities, we all have bad qualities. I feel that my good qualities are my professionalism, my motivation to go out and to constantly seek for change and improvement. I feel that as a public official, it is your responsibility to serve and to lead by setting high standards for yourself, so that anyone who looks upon the office of the clerk looks at it with respect. So I feel that you need to set a high example for yourself and for your community and for your children, and lead others by setting an example. And I feel that I have those qualities that Martin County people can be proud of. One that's motivated, self-disciplined, and a hard worker. And I think that's all that anybody could really ask from a clerk.
How would you answer someone that may be ignorant on what a county clerk does and say, well, that's not a job that makes a difference? How would you answer somebody like that?
Well, most people don't know what the county clerk does unless you deal with the court system, and most people don't like to deal with the court system. They don't know that question, so it's not an ignorant question. But the clerk's main responsibility is the keeper, or the official court record keeper. That's the most important job that the clerk has, to keep those voter records, those clerk records, those court records accurate. You're accountable from the beginning of a case filing to the end of a case filing. So it's very important. The most important job that you could have is to say that you are the keeper of the court's records, its seal and its records. You're also responsible, like I said, for the child support system, ensuring that children get their child support in a timely manner, that those records are recorded accurately, so that fathers are not on the deadbeat list. You're responsible for that. You're responsible for traffic violations and civil marriages, recording wills and estates and probates. So anything that would deal with the court, filings within the court, you're responsible for those, making sure it gets to the judge in a timely manner and that he can make a decision on those. And then you in turn around and send that decision out to the defendants. But also a very high, another visible role of the clerk is the voter election. That can be a lot of responsibility. You're responsible for maintaining the voter records, to make sure that they're purged and they're up to date. You're responsible to make sure that every voter has the ability to cast a vote, to make sure that they go to the voting places and their names on the voting list, to make sure that you have competent people that run that position, to make sure that election day comes and everybody's name is on the ballot. That's your responsibility as clerk, to ensure that you oversee those ballots and that it gets to the election board, and that you educate your election board on who's supposed to be on that ballot and who's not supposed to be on that ballot, and who's running in what precinct, and that is the clerk's responsibility. So I feel that the clerk has a lot of responsibilities. It's not just the court, which is its main, but it's also services the public, from a broad range.
Next question, what inspired you to seek the office of Martin Circuit Court Clerk?
What inspired me was to serve the people of Martin County that I've known all my life, and I feel that I owe Martin County. They've been good to me, they've been good to my family. This is a place that I call home. It's a place where I'm proud to say that I've lived here all my life. It's a place where I feel safe. I feel like the people have given so much to me, and for the first time in my career, I feel like I'm home. I'm where I need to be, and I just want to be able to give back and to serve and just to be able to continue.
And our next question, I know a lot of folks, look at different races and different things, and one of the questions they have specifically on the clerk's office is, in the past, and with Julie, she claims that she will be a full-time clerk. They've raised some questions whether you're going to be in the office as full-time clerk. How would you like to answer anybody that has questions about that?
Well, first of all, I'd like to start by saying I'm not clerk yet, so anybody that wants to judge and say that I'm not going to be a full-time employee in anything that I do, they really don't know Bobbi Sue Nonte. I can tell you that when I was clerk before, when I was chief deputy clerk, I put in many hours to get the current clerk in a situation where she can sit comfortably. We went in a bad situation, and I worked 7 days a week, 14 hours a day for many months. And in fact, when I left the office in December, I left the county with a lot of comp time that was unused, or not. I didn't claim that. I didn't ask for the taxpayers to reimburse me for all those comp time hours that I had accrued. And with me and my health situation there for 3 months, it would have been nice to have been paid. But I didn't try to recoup that. So I feel that I'm a person of integrity. I'm a hard worker. I've never did a job halfway. In fact, my husband says that sometimes I have too many irons in the fire all the time. So you have to get elected first. And I don't know that anybody is ever a full-time anything. I think I've talked to some constituents that say, I have 2 or 3 jobs, and I'm a mother first and foremost, so that's my #1 job. So I can promise the people of Martin County that if elected clerk, that I will continue to be that hardworking person that I always have been for them, and that being the clerk of the Martin Circuit Court will be my #1 priority and job as far as jobs are concerned, as far as work.
And our final question, November 2nd, citizens of Martin County will elect a county clerk. Why should the citizens step into the voting booth and mark a line next to, and I guess also you guys know that we do that electronically now as well, or push the button next to Bobbi Sue Nonte for Martin Circuit Court Clerk?
Well, I want to ask the taxpayers and the voters of Martin County to take a hard look at both candidates, because we both are good people. We both want what's good for Martin County, but to look at our experience, my experience not only running or working in the clerk's office itself, but my experience working in the private and the government sector of the community. I have over 15 plus years in computer technology experience that I have to offer to the clerk's office. Look at that experience, look at the qualities of us, compare those. I ask that you make a sound judgment on what you want in the clerk's office for the next 4 years. Do you want someone who has already experienced and knows how to run the clerk's office in a proficient and professional and efficient, time-effective manner in which I've done that? Do you want someone who puts Martin County first and has always put Martin County first? I'm your person for the job if you think that. I encourage everyone to vote. I promise that if I'm elected, I'll continue to be hardworking and dedicated to the job, dedicated to the people of Martin County, and no matter what, go and vote. Everybody needs to vote. It's an important election, not just for me, but for all candidates. So I encourage you to vote. I encourage you to put an X next to my name, and I hope and I intend, if elected, to earn your trust as clerk of the Martin Circuit Court.